What's up, everybody? Big Swede coming at you once again from Swede Studios, where we're going to see some changes happening here in the near future. Now, when I built this home studio for myself, I really built it with the intention of just really recording myself. I was getting back into guitar, and I just wanted a way to be able to record my own ideas, maybe do some guitar covers, stuff like that. But really, that was all it was intended for. And then, I started doing these collaborations with people on YouTube, and man, that really got me interested in, recording and mixing, music production. I've really gotten into it. I've been like digging in and learning a lot. Mixes getting better and better along the way. And now I kind of want to take the next step, and I want to turn this space that I created for myself into like an actual business. And I want to build it up to the point where I would feel comfortable bringing a band in or, a client to come in and record their stuff. Now, my setup that I currently have, I could do that. But there are limitations to what I can do, and me personally, if I was going to run this as a business, I wouldn't feel comfortable bringing like a full band in here to record at the moment. Could I do it? Probably. But I'd like to build it up a little bit more to where I'd feel comfortable bringing other people in to actually pay me to do their production. So that's kind of what we're going to do over the next, few videos or whatever. Like today, I just want to kind of give you a rundown of what I'm working with at the moment, where the studio currently stands, and then as things come in and we start, making some changes, we're going to document that process along the way as well. So right now, let's get into where we currently stand in Swede Studios as of 9 March 2022. All right, here is my setup as we stand right now. So I've got our PC here, and we are running Reaper as our DAW. Now, that might be changing here in the future. I'm going to be trying out another DAW in conjunction with some of the gear that I'm getting. Just for compatibility reasons. One of the downfalls with Reaper, and I love Reaper, don't get me wrong. I love Reaper. I know it really well. It does everything I need it to do. But one of the downfalls, I don't know what it is, if it's not one of the major players. But sometimes you can run into issues with compatibility with hardware, where all of the functions don't necessarily work, or there's a lot of kind of behind the scenes, stuff you need to do to get it to work. So just like I said, for compatibility reasons with some of the new gear, I'm going to be trying out another DAW. If I end up liking it, I might stick with it. If I don't like it, I'm definitely coming back to Reaper, because Reaper is great. Don't get me wrong. I love it. As far as my monitoring, my main monitors are a set of Yamaha HS5s. Now, in the future, I'm probably going to be upgrading those to something a little bit bigger. I'm likely going to go with CLA 10s. Pretty decent reproduction of the old Yamaha NS10s. Good luck finding those anymore, but apparently the CLA 10s are a pretty good reproduction of those. Now, down here, these little secondary monitors, they're just some M Audio. I think they're BX3s. And mainly what I'm using those for is just PC audio. When I'm doing other stuff on the computer, I'm usually running those rather than the HS5s. But during a mix, I will occasionally kind of A/B between those two, because it's always good to listen to, your stuff through different sources. You might not hear something on one set of speakers, but then you switch to another one and something stands out to you. So it's always good to listen to different sources. So like I said, I'll A/B between those occasionally, just to make sure there's nothing weird going on. Over here on the boom arm, we've got a Shure SM7B. Use that anytime I'm doing any kind of live streaming, stuff like that. But I use that all the time in recording as well. Very versatile mic, awesome. If you're starting a home studio and you're looking for, a very versatile kind of do-it-all mic, definitely look at the Shure SM7B. Great mic. Works great for vocals. You can use it on drums, snare drums. You can mic cabinets with it, guitar cabs. Very versatile. Definitely look into those if you're starting a home studio. All right, down here in the rack, this rack I actually built myself. Starting at the top here, we got this just a Furman power conditioner here. We got the Line 6 Helix, which up until recently, this was my really all my guitar sounds, amp sims, um, effects, everything was coming out of this. Recently, though, I've been kind of digging into a little bit more of the amp sim plugins. The Neural DSP stuff is amazing. So I've been using a lot of those recently, and really the Helix now is I'm using it mainly for just effects now. I'm not really using the amp sims as much in this. I'll use it a lot for if I'm practicing. I'll use it, but when I start recording, I'm usually doing just a DI into my DAW and using the Neural DSP plugins. It's crazy how like a $150 amp sim plugin can, replace a $1,600 unit, but that's technology. That's where we live today. And then everything's running into Focusrite Scarlett 18i20. Now, as I said, I've got 8 channels of inputs on this. I could, record a band with that if I needed to, but if I'm going to do it right, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. I could fill up those 8 channels easily with just drums. So, like, if I ever wanted to do a live band situation, that right there isn't going to cut it without adding more channels to it. So, like I said, some of the gear that I'm getting is going to be, a lot more channels available to me. This will either get resold or just repurposed as additional inputs to that as we go along. Let's see, what do we got down in here? We got a cloud lifter, which I'm using for the SM7B just to give it a little bit of clean boost there. Bunch of cables. We got our DI box radial Pro DI. Got a Crybaby wah in there. And yeah, that's the rack. And then right here we got a little MIDI controller, MPK Mini. I was using I was messing around with some virtual instruments and stuff, some keys, synth, but really what I'm using this for is just MIDI control for the DAW. Primarily when I'm sitting back behind the drums and I want to record something, I program stuff in here to record, stop, pause, play. That way I don't have to get up, come over here, hit record, run back over there, start playing. Oh, I messed up. I got to stop it now, get up, come over here, stop it, reset it, record, run back over there. So I just take this, set it over here next to the drum module, and I have quick access to the controls for the DAW. Speaking of the drums, we just got an Alesis Surge, the Alesis Surge mesh kit. And, it's nothing spectacular, but, it works really well for what I need. I'm not a drummer by any means, but I like to play around with the drums occasionally. I'll record some stuff. But yeah, it works great. A buddy of mine sold it to me for pretty cheap, so works perfectly for my situation. Little couch lounge area there, which honestly, I think in the new setup, that's going to end up being where my desk is. This desk over here is going to stay here because I'm actually working from home right now. So I'm going to work from this desk, and then anytime I'm doing video editing, stuff like that, it's going to be from this desk. And then my control console is going to be there, and that's going to be just for audio. I'm building myself a new PC that's going to be just for audio stuff. So I'm not going to have anything else on that computer other than the audio stuff. Everything else will be done over here. When we do rearrange, this desk is going to get pushed back against that wall to give me a little bit of extra space in here. But yeah, that's where the mixing is going to be done from here on out, I think. And then over here, we have Guitar Land. So we have the Schecter C1 Silver Mountain, which is really my go-to for most things nowadays. I have the Schecter C1 Platinum. That's got the EMG 8185 set in it. So anytime I'm looking for like an active sound, stuff like Metallica, that's usually what I'm grabbing for that. Got my new bass, the Ibanez SR400 there. Got my old acoustic that I've had for many years. That's an Ibanez as well. I believe that's a AEL20, I believe is the model. Then we have my Christmas present this year for my wife and my son, the Fender Kurt Cobain 65 Jaguar. It's nice. Kurt Cobain was always a big influence on me as a kid, so that's a cool guitar to have. And then my other baby, my PRS SE Custom 24. Again, like I said, like between the Silver Mountain and the PRS here, those are generally the guitars I'm grabbing most of the time. The other ones don't get as much love, but you know, whenever there's a need arises for them, definitely get some use out of them. All right, guys, so that's where we stand today with the studio. I'm probably going to be doing a couple shorts here and there as gear comes in, just to kind of give you a little sneak preview of what we're doing and the direction we're going. And then once everything's back together and reorganized, we'll do another one of these studio tour videos so you can see the kind of before and after. I'll probably sneak in some other videos in there just to kind of show like how I'm routing everything, because I am going to be adding some outboard gear. Instead of doing everything strictly in the box, I am adding some outboard gear. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of that, some routing and how I'm running things. Should be fun. Hopefully you guys stick along. The first new piece of gear is showing up this week, so stay tuned and we'll catch you guys next time.